Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Genesis 3, verse 16. To the woman he said, I will greatly increase your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. This verse, viewed through the lens of the Zohar, is not merely a punishment. It is a cosmic consequence, reflecting a deeper spiritual disruption caused by the fall. This verse must be understood in terms of Kabbalistic alignment, the structure of divine flow, and the fracturing of unity between the masculine and feminine polarities of the universe. First, we have the phrase, I will greatly increase your sorrow and your conception. Pain introduced into creation. The Zohar teaches that prior to the fall, childbirth was intended to be a process of pure creative flow, free of pain and suffering. Woman's womb was aligned directly with Binah, the Sephirah of understanding, which in Kabbalah is also called the supernal womb. But after the fall, that alignment was disrupted. The channels of life were contaminated with judgment, Geburah, and Din, harshness. She drew the serpent's breath into the womb, and so sorrow was multiplied with conception. The increase in sorrow is not just physical, it reflects the difficulty of manifesting holy potential after distortion. Every act of bringing new life, literal or spiritual, now involves pain, uncertainty, resistance, and inner struggle. Next, we have the phrase, in sorrow you shall bring forth children. The pain of manifestation. According to the Zohar, this is not merely a curse, it's a karmic echo. Woman who initiated manifestation through the serpent's influence now must birth through pain to purify that channel. But the Zohar also teaches the Shekinah too cries in labor with every soul born into the world. This phrase links human birth to the cosmic labor of redemption. The pain of childbirth is a reflection of the Shekinah's exile, the sorrow of divine presence, being separated from the source and waiting for tikkun, repair. Each birth becomes a redemptive act, a chance to restore the world. Next, we have the phrase, your desire shall be for your husband. Realignment of the feminine principle. In Kabbalah, desire, in Hebrew word teshukah, is an expression of the flow of longing, the pull of Malkuth, the feminine, toward Zeir Anpin, the masculine, which channels divine light. But after the fall, this desire becomes entangled with neediness instead of receptivity, dependency instead of harmony, imbalance of power instead of union. The Zohar reads this as the Shekinah's longing to reunite with her divine spouse, which becomes distorted on earth as emotional or societal imbalance. Her soul longed upward, but the body became chained to longing below. This tension creates the drama of love, power, and yearning, and gives rise to both the suffering and sanctity of human relationships. The last phrase we have, he shall rule over you, broken governance of masculine energy. This line is deeply nuanced in the Zohar. It is not a divine ideal, but a description of distortion. Before the fall, man and woman were equal reflections of the divine, male and female in unity. After the fall, imbalance arises, masculine dominance, not as virtue, but as a consequence of disconnection. He shall rule, but this rule is exile, for the male too has lost his crown. Kabbalistically, this reflects the rupture between Tiferet and Malkuth. The masculine force no longer reflects divine compassion, Tiferet, but often becomes authoritarian, reflecting Din, harshness. Thus, the phrase, "He shall rule over you," is not a command, but a lament, a prophecy of spiritual imbalance, until Tikkun restores equality and harmony. The hidden redemption, raising the feminine. The Zohar teaches that this verse encodes not only consequence, but promise. The woman's sorrow, longing, and subjected state are temporary. Each stage of this verse, sorrow, longing, submission, becomes a ladder of redemption. Pain in childbirth transforms into co-creation with the divine. Desire for the husband becomes mystical longing for divine union. Being ruled over becomes the raising of Malkuth, the feminine throne restored. In the end of days, the woman shall rise above the serpent's dust and wear the crown of light. In the Messianic age, says the Zohar, Shekinah shall rise, and the male and female will once again be one, as in the beginning. To summarize, Genesis 3 verse 16 in Zoharic mysticism is not just punishment, it's a map of spiritual distortion and return. The phrase, "I will greatly increase your sorrow and your conception," woman's womb, once aligned with the divine, now births through pain, reflecting the broken flow of creation and the Shekinah's own sorrow in exile. The phrase, "In sorrow you shall bring forth children," every act of birth is now touched by resistance and pain, but also becomes a sacred act of redemption, echoing the Shekinah's labor to bring souls into the world. The phrase, "Your desire shall be for your husband," longing becomes entangled, no longer pure divine yearning, but earthly attachment, dependency, and imbalance. Yet, even this desire holds a seed of return. The phrase, "He shall rule over you," masculine dominance, is a result of distortion, not divine intention. The Zohar sees this as a consequence of exile, not a sacred order. Yet within these consequences lies a future promise. The pain will give birth to healing. The longing will lead to unity. The imbalance will be corrected by light. And woman, symbol of the Shekinah, will rise, crowned once more, to stand equal at the side of her divine reflection. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.